Hello guys, and in this part we're going to start retrieving some data from our Firebase backend database. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my database, and I've already set up the project, added the dependencies. Make sure you add the database dependency, because without that you can't access the database, and also the Google services. So these are the must. So next thing that I want to do, I want to create an application file, and I'm going to call it Fire App, and let's say extends application. All right, then on create method, let's add Firebase dot. All right, so set Android context. So right now we can't do that because we haven't added what do we call all right, yeah, there's one thing I almost forgot, was to add in the project structure cloud and this client Android. So you need to check this and hit OK. So it's going to do some compilation, and let's see if you get any errors. So there are no errors. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add Firebase dot set Android context to this, and one more thing, in Android manifest you need to wire it up. So name is going to be Fire App. So our connection is ready between the database. Now what we want to do, we want to retrieve some data from our database. So first of all, I'm going to open up my activity main and change the API level to 23, and let it load. Let's go to the text view, and first of all I'm going to remove this default text view, and let's add a new one, a plain text view. Approximate here, let's say match parent, and what we can do is value text size 24 dp, alignment to center. Okay, so this is ready. Let's put it in the center, and ID, let's give it value view. All right, so let's connect it with our Java file. So I'm going to say private text view, and let's name it m value view. All right, so let's import, and m value view is going to be equal to text view, find view by id, r.id dot value view. So this is ready. Now we need to create a Firebase connection. So let's say private Firebase object mref, we can call it whatever you want. Then I'm gonna do is mref equals new Firebase, and inside this we need to paste the link of our database. So let's go to the console, and let's copy this, and let's paste it over here. And now you can see that inside the database it says default security rules require user to be authenticated. So that means if the user is not logged in, he cannot access the database. So for right now I'm going to change the rules to true, read true, and write true, and let's publish. This will then say your security rules are defined as public, and anyone can read and write your database. So let's dismiss this for right now, because we don't worry, we are just testing the app and learning something. Whenever we'll be ready to create a new app, we can then work on security rules. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to add an object over here. So I'm going to say name, let's say Akshay. All right, so come to our Android Studio, the main activity file, and I'm going to type in all right, so here I'm going to add a child object name which we have just created. So if you guys remember from set value part, you may already know this. So mref dot, I'm going to say okay, so there's something, add value event listener. So I'm going to create a value event listener for our Firebase object here. So what you can do inside this, whenever any data is changed, it's gonna fire up this function inside here, and if we get any error, this will be called on the error. So whenever we change any data from this name object inside the database, it's gonna get the value from it and store it inside the data snapshot variable. All right, so what we can do next is, I'm gonna say string, and we can call it anything, string value equals data snapshot. So this is where it gets the data. Then we can say get value and string dot class, because we want it to be as a string. Then we can say m value view, that is our text view over here, dot set text, and now we can pass in this value variable inside this. So let's run the app. And one thing I want to tell you guys is I'm not using emulator anymore. This is a screen mirror application that I'm using right now, and it's pretty useful and really fast actually, because normally most of the apps doesn't work this fast, and the emulators, but this is really good. This is not full HD, but it's good for testing the apps and all. So that's why I'm using this application, and its name is all you can do is go to Google Chrome, and inside here this is it, Wiser. I guess that's the pronunciation. You can get it from Google extensions, and it's free. Download the APK on Android phone, and this is for Chrome extension to mirror your Android device. But probably you guys may not need, because you can directly connect it to connect your Android phone with your Android Studio. You can test it directly on it, but I need to show the screen inside for the tutorial, so I'm gonna using this app. So all right, so our app is working now. Now what we get here is the value of this name object, but as I told you guys that this function runs when the data is changed, but not actually. This runs whenever the app fires up. All right, so whenever this function fires up, and the next time it will run when the value is changed. So it's running like 2 times. It will run for twice. All right, I'm saying it wrong. Okay, once when this function is fired, and second time when the value is changed. So we have this value over here and our app running over here. So I'm going to reduce the size of this window so we can see both of the screen at the same time. So let's change this value, and let's type something else. So if I enter, and once the value is changed, it retrieves the data and store it to this string variable, value variable, and then it sets the text of that text view. So the data is real time, so you guys can use it for anything. This is pretty quick and really useful though, because most of the database or backend systems are not as fast as this one that I'm seeing. So if I change it back, hit enter, you get the value. So that's how you can retrieve a single object from the database, and in the next part we're going to do it with multiple objects. So